put our measuring skills to the test. Have you ever come to school and thought, I wonder how tall my desk is? Or I wonder how wide that windowsill is that I love to sit on during carpet time. Okay, so we're going to learn today about about a unit of measure called the meter. Okay, and we're going to talk about that with a fun activity. So we're going to start first by reading our objective together. So let's do that first. Ready?
The students will use yarn that is 1 meter long to measure the classroom objects that are the same length with 85% accuracy.
Good job. Okay, so let's start out by reviewing our classroom procedures. So, because there's going to be some activities that you get to do around the classroom, and I need to make sure that you can safely go measure and come back to your desk without causing too much interruption. So when you hear this bell, that means you stop what you're doing and come back to your desk. We all remember that, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, today we're talking about this. This
Is that bigger than a ruler?
is a measuring stick. It is bigger than a ruler. It is a ruler, but it's bigger than the ruler that you're thinking about.
Okay.
So, this is a meter stick. Okay, you're going to see from basically 0 at the end, clear to 39. Okay, looking at this and the length that it is, what would you measure with a meter stick? What could you use a meter stick to measure? Lauren, you tell me something.
A desk.
A desk, okay. Kason, do you have one?
I think that like a little white strip. You
Oh,
can
this
measure
piece
that.
right here on my whiteboard?
Yeah.
Okay, we call that the seam of my whiteboard. Good. Seam of the whiteboard. What is something in real life outside of your classroom that you could measure with a meter stick? Ooh, raising your hands. Lauren, go ahead.
A pool.
A pool, a swimming pool. Good. That's measured in meters. Kason?
I think you could measure yourself with just one of those.
Ooh, you could measure your height, right? How tall you are with a meter stick. So if Mrs. Cook were to measure, it would hit her right above the waist, and then we'd kind of estimate a little bit. So I'm a little bit taller than 1 meter, but not quite 2 meters, right? Okay, awesome, you guys. So today's activity, you're going to take your piece of yarn and go around the classroom and find things that might measure 1 meter long. Okay, what is something that you can think of that you might measure just looking around the room? Looking around the room, what's something that you might race to and measure, Lauren?
A door.
A door, good. In Spanish, what is a puerta for my ELL kids? Kason?
I think I have 2 things.
Okay.
One is look if we go back and measure your fridge, and if it is okay, I would go back there and measure it.
That's a good question. Yes, you could measure the fridge. Okay, very good. So, have you ever used a meter stick before?
No.
No? Okay, what about you, Lauren? Yes?
We were in 3rd grade. We were measuring objects around our classroom.
Good, you've done this before. So a meter and a ruler, like what you're thinking of, Kason, are in different units. A ruler is done in feet and inches, and this is done in meters. So they are different. Okay? So with your string, I want you to go find a couple of things in the classroom that you can measure with your string. Okay? Now let me see your whiteboard. On your whiteboard, you're going to write what you measured with, okay? And then you're also going to write if it was shorter or longer than your string of yarn. So shorter or longer than 1 meter, okay? You may go do that now. I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to do that, so make sure you're using your time wisely. I forgot one simple step. The one thing I want you to do is if you found something that measures exactly 1 meter, then I want you to take your iPad and take a picture of it. Use it with your string showing us. Okay, so when you find something that measures exactly 1 meter, lay your string on the ground next to it and snap a picture so that we can measure that. We can compare it. Yes. Oops. Think about what's in our classroom. We've got a refrigerator, an iPad cart, a bookshelf, some doors. There's all kinds of things. Oh, the length of that spot right there. Okay.
Is this Max's?
You're gonna need
Yes.
your iPad.
Yay!
You're gonna need your iPad and your marker.
No, we're erasing it.
Just use your hand. Okay, after you've found one object, try to find 2 more. Maybe find one that's shorter, and then maybe find one that's longer than your meter.
Mama, is it okay if it's super duper close?
If
In
it's
the
super
same-
duper close,
To the same, can we like?
that's
so
why I want you to take a
close?
picture of it so we can see. Okay? Good question. Well, Lauren's gonna measure the bulletin board. Good idea. So we're looking for now a shorter one and a longer one. So you should have 3 objects written on your iPad or on your whiteboard, and then whether it was shorter or longer or exact.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Kaysen, about 30 more seconds, all right?
Okay. Do we put all of them down?
Yep. Okay, 3rd graders, come back to your desk. Write your objects down. Okay. Just a couple minutes. Okay. What was one thing that was your exact measurement? Lauren, what'd you have that was your exact measurement?
I had the door frame.
The door frame, okay. Kason, what was your one frame that was one thing that was exact measurement? The door frame?
I don't know what to call it, but it was like this.
The length of the 2 cabinet doors? Okay. The 2 cabinet doors together. Good. What's something that you measured that was shorter? What?
Teacher's desk.
My teacher's desk, my little tiny teacher's desk. Good. Case?
Oh, the shorter than it,
Mhm.
or like a longer? than it?
Shorter than yours.
Okay, so like smaller.
Yes.
Than
Smaller it. Shorter is what we say when we're saying length.
The
Okay.
fridge.
My refrigerator, good. So we say shorter for length, not smaller, okay? So this was exact. Shorter was my fridge and my desk. What's something that you had that was longer?
Couldn't get to that.
You didn't make it to that? Laura, did you make it to that?
Yes.
What was yours?
Front of the filing cabinet.
The front of the filing cabinet.
Where's
Good.
the filing cabinet? That's right there.
Oh, okay, the side of it. Okay. All right. So Kason brought up a really good one of measuring this seam right here. So that's how we're gonna check to see if this one seam looks pretty close, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna measure this one seam of my whiteboard and see if we're pretty close. Oh, we're almost there, aren't we? We slid it down, we would need about
Like half of a regular ruler.
half of a regular ruler. That's a good way to look at that. Very good. All right, so today you learned how much fun it is to use a meter stick, okay? You learned that a meter is a standard unit that can be used to both measure things in our classroom and things in the real world, didn't you? Very good. So tomorrow, I have a challenge for you. Today I want you to go home with your string. So take your string, put it in your pocket. Go home and measure something in your house that you think would be 1 meter long. Then tomorrow, when we have our next math lesson, we'll go over what you measured at home that's 1 meter long, and we'll see. Maybe Lauren and Kason have similar things. Maybe they picked the same thing at home to measure. Okay? So we can do a lot of things with a meter stick outside of our classroom. The swimming pool, Lauren said, is measured in meters.
I got another one.
We talked about how maybe a tree was measured in meters.
Yeah.
In science, when we're talking about trees and plants and how we measure them for their growth, you might use a meter stick to do so. Awesome job. So let's read our objective together again. Ready? The student will use yarn that is 1 meter long to measure classroom objects that are the same length with 85%